Oh. Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May the Lord protect us. May He nourish us. May we acquire the capacity to study and understand the scriptures. May our study be brilliant, and may we not cavil at each other. Om, peace, peace, peace unto us all. Dear brothers and sisters, loving Sai Ram to all of you. We welcome everyone to the Sri Sathya Sai Baba Center of Arcadia. Now, I won't call study circle, we are going to have Gita Jnana Yajna. So, welcome to all the participants in person and in remote. So, Jnana Yajna is done both in person and remote. So, everybody gets the same benefits as Lord Krishna said. So, the one who is talking about his words, the one who is listening, and one who is contemplating, everybody gets the good merit. And he says they reach the lokas of the people who have done a lot of punyam. So now coming back to that, so we are on chapter 15. So, and you all received the electronic soft copy, page 68. And you have the book, hard copy. This version is page 139. The last paragraph will start. And hopefully all of you, at least in between, for short time, at least for the whole week, you listen here. So repeatedly Swami says on the scripture share, Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasma. After we listen, we need to have that little contemplation, reflection of what we studied. Then it sinks us to more. Otherwise, as I said, it goes here, goes out there. Nothing remains in between. So it is good to have contemplate at least for a short while in between in this before we come next time. So here we are coming back to the thing where Arjuna asked the 7 questions, and Lord Krishna, in his love and compassion, answered already the 6th question, and he's going to the 7th question. So he answered. So all of you should know very well by now the answers. Who is Brahman? What is karma? Both the primal karma, individual karma, and what is adhyatmika, and then what is adhibhautika, and adidaivika, and adiyajna. So these
adhibhautika and adibhuta are both.
Yeah, anything related to bhutas. So it means 5 elements. These are panchabhutas, right? So adibhuta, anything adidaivika is similarly related to divine. And adhyatmika is something related to individual soul. That is why when we chant, you should all these things, whatever we should mechanically not do, we always talk about the meaning. So 3 times we chant peace, peace, peace. One is for the bhautika, so anything external elements from the 5 elements, and adidaivika, the divine plan, like the disasters happen, like natural disasters or man-made disasters, whatever happens, hurricanes, earthquakes, floods, fires. So, and then adhyatmika, which is within ourselves because of our mind and body afflictions. So all this from the three, because Most of our grief and agitation is from three sources, either within ourselves, our mind being agitated and all the conflicts, or from other people and other elements, or from the divine providence. So you pray to the Lord to protect from all those things. So that is Adi Bhautika. And Adi Daivika, we talked about Hiranyagarbha, and Adi Yajna is the one who is the motivator of all the actions. God is the doer. So now he is talking the most important, the seventh question. What was the seventh question was, how do you leave the body? Everybody. So is there anybody who is not going to leave the body here? One thing for sure, whatever may be uncertain, one thing for sure, anybody who is born dies. Whether it is an animal or a plant or a human being or anything which has a beginning, has an end. So a lot of us, we don't think about it, but we have to accept it. That's what Lord Krishna says. That's why it is like a spiritual law. Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityah. The minute you are born, you are walking towards the end, death. It could be at your 10th year, 30th year, 50th year, 60th, 70th, 80th, 100. One of the days, gone. The curtain falls. So how do you prepare for that? That is the whole secret. Last week we talked about that. What did Lord Krishna say? Because death is one, number one is certain, you should remember. So that is for sure everybody, whether you're a king or a pauper or a president or an ordinary citizen or you're a Nobel laureate or ignoramus, you're a saint or a sinner, everybody has to go through that. That even avatars, Swami, Sri Baba, everybody has to go through that end process. Nobody escapes that. There is a end process. But how do you meet that end? So that is why he says very important is Dehante Tavasayujam. We talked about three prayers, right? I said my father's favorite, that is painless death and not living without dependence on others. And finally, at the end, every devotee's prayer is to merge with God. Dehante Tavasayujam. Why is important? If you do good deeds, you go to downtown to service project, or you give this Gita, you give charities, this gives you all punyam. It's all good merit. Every time you serve people, holy people. But what will it take you to? Take you to heavens, punyalokas. And what happens after a while? You spend away your punyam. Then you come back again. That is called Chine Punye Matya Loke Vishanti. After you finish your punya, again you have to come back. Again do it, again go, again come back. This cycle goes on, doing the, like go on a nice vacation, you have a few $1,000s, you had a good time. After the time, money is spent or the time is vacation time is gone, your boss gave, you have to come back again, come back home, right? You can't pay forever unless you are multimillionaire or you have nothing else to do. So similarly, good merit. But here, once you merge with God, there is no more coming back. That is called punarapi jananam, punarapi. Always born, die, born, die. But there's no more cycle of birth and death if you once you merge with Him. So that is called Parandhama. Yadgatva nanivartate tadhama paramam mama. Lord Krishna says, having gone where, you won't come back again. All these places, heaven, different lokas, you go there and come back again after you finish. But here, having merged in God, there is no more coming back. Where do you chant Parandhama? Daily we chant. Suprabhatam, yeah. Suprabhatam idam punyam ye patanti dine dine te vishanti parandhama jnana vijnana. Simple says you daily you chant Suprabhatam with love and intensity, says you will get parandhama, you will just go to that loka from which you don't come back. That is the thing he says. So that is why we should aim, when you leave the body, we should merge in God. Very good. So what for that, what you said at that last moment when you're leaving, We should think about God. We think, yeah, I can think about God in the last moment. First point, we don't know the last moment. Does anybody know the last moment? When last moment, the people they were flying in the Air India in India, so many people, did they know what their last flight for their life? They didn't know that. So they didn't expect, right? They wanted to go and visit family, friends, or whatever. They didn't know that it's their last flight. So nobody knows. And I know recently one of our Sai devotees, did I say the last time? He's from Italy, the Moro Battistana. He works with, I think, with you, the archive committee. So he was very sad. About a month ago, his daughter, I know her well since she was teenager, so she's married, has two little children. So she was going to a wedding party. They live in Venice, Italy, the beautiful area where the canals and various. So he lives there, and she was visiting, and then she was visiting to attend a wedding party. And then they had to go through a little canal. They were hiring a boat, and to the boat they had to go. So they were sitting, the mother and two daughters, 7 and 2 years old. And meanwhile, I don't know, even now they don't know investigating. Huge tree under which they were sitting till they catch the boat fell on them. And that mother, that lady, she's 30, all her bones are broken. She's brain completely damaged. She's in intensive care. So he was crying. We were all praying for her. And then, fortunately, this girl is supposed to be the 7-year-old girl. She saw the tree falling. She just ran. So her life was saved. So, but it's a very traumatic experience. Can you see that somebody seeing the tree falling in front of her, and then mother that happening? The second girl is 2 years only. She can't run away. She doesn't have time to think. She cannot do that. So fortunate, God saved her. So she's in a stroller or something there. It fell. So that kind of take the brunt away from it. Then when took the hospital, just she had only a scratch, stayed for a day and went home. So both the children are saved. So his grandchildren, he was happy. But his main thing is daughter and is in critical condition. Our husband, the son-in-law, is really distraught, and he was. So what I'm telling is, you are going for a wedding party, and then it happens this. So we don't know who will, what time, and whether you take a flight. And we're more classical. I remember when I was in high school. This is amazing. They wrote actually in a newspaper, Daivo Pahatundu Povu Kadakum Povungada, wherever you're destined to die, you will die. So this man was going from one village to another on his bicycle. He was going, and suddenly there is a snake from the sky falls on his neck and bites. First, this guy is in movement, right? Cycle. How many chances? And that eagle, which was carrying a snake, it was also flying. So just to the eagle to release that snake, falls in this guy's neck and die, and that guy dies. So what I'm telling is, there is once it is, be always, Swami says, photographer says, be ready, I will take a nice picture or you're taking. But the god of death, Yama, doesn't say, get ready, I will take a picture. He says, never gives you a warning. So you need to be ready for any time it happens. So always for that, what is the solution? Last week we talked about. Important. Antakale chamaye maiva smaran muktva kalevaram. Prayati samadbhavam yati tatrachya samshaya. No doubt, he says, assurance God has given. What? Antakale cha. It's a lot of people say, you think about me at the last moment. No. Including the last moment. That means whole life you thought about God, like even in your sleep, automatically you will be thinking. That is why antakale cha. That is what the emphasis all the master Swami says, including the last moment. That means throughout, because otherwise you go on thinking in life throughout something that will come to your mind. I know one of my good friends, he's a very nice man, good, but his mind is always talks in the morning. What do you do? I go on treadmill exercise. Good. I said, But he watches, it appears early morning, the stock market, that those will be coming in the TV, it goes on. So when you're thinking all the time, your mind is in stock market, these things, that's all will come to your mind. You won't think about God. So means including the last moment, that means all the time, you go on getting yourself occupied with a good act. Like we have good example, like here I should mention before, Ram and Radha, they spend their Thursday, they go there, Shirdi temple, and Thursday here they come, Friday they go there, Saturday Saipan. So always keep yourself, your life revolve around God. So go to the place of pilgrimage, place of worship, places of satsang, like that. So antakalecha, including last moment, you think. And what should you do? Mamaiva. That means think only about me. God is jealous. Don't think about your wife, husband, children, and friends, and the distant relatives, cousins, nephews, grandnephews, grandcousins. So your mind will be all saturated. In a computer, the hard disk is full, right? They reject it, won't be, it's too full, it says. Similarly, your mind is too full with all this, it won't have space for God. He says, God says, I came to see, but it's already full. What can I do? So try to give some space for God. So antakalecha, including last moment, mamaiva, that means think about me. How? Mano buddhi. You should surrender your mind and intellect. Then this Arjuna gets issued. How can you all the time think about it? It's not easy. Right? We all see that when we meditate, Krishna says, let us practice for 1 minute silence. Does everybody think about only about Swami during that time? How many people? Although he is talking about only 60 seconds, right? As you say, let us watch for 1 minute. That is yourself today, you will be doing that. How much of that 60 seconds we are focused only on God? No other thought should be there. Just 60 seconds. That is why Swami said, what is dharana is only 12 seconds. If you can think about in continuous flow of thought, that is dharana, 12 seconds. So he was telling, you should, including that, you should think about mind and intellect, what is mano buddhi. Mayarpita mano buddhir mamaiva asamshaya. Just you surrender your thoughts and your intellect, everything for me. Then he says it's not easy for us. Then what does he say? Abhyasa yoga yuktena chetasa nanya gamina paramam purusham divyam yati partha anutintyan. Oh Partha, oh Arjuna, constantly practice. He says, how did you become an archer, great archer, right? Arjuna is one of the best. Even with one shot, he can look at just the eye of the bird and he can hit because he has so much. Similarly, all of us can develop that one-pointedness. But for that, it's not easy. One day you cannot do that. You need constant practice, even whether you do yoga or whether you do gymnastics, whether it's singing, whether athletics, whether it's everything is practice. Without practice, you can't attain any great heights. So constant practices. That's why there are many yogas we know: Raja Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Karma Yoga. But here, Abhyasa Yoga Yuktena, Lord Krishna introduced the new word, Abhyasa Yoga. So constantly practice every day during the specific time. That is why Swami says, Niyama Nishthalatoda Nanugulchuvarini Kapadu Chundeti Ganatana. With Niyama Nishta, every day you want to do 8 o'clock or 7 or 8, same time. So with a lot of faith and intensity, you do that abhyasa, then you will attain me and you will be one with me. So that's this always constantly practice. And that's not that easy. The very fact all of you are here, but this is not easy. This is only by divine grace. Otherwise, so many obstacles. So you may have called away from your work to some other place, family engagement, or your health may not be good, or your some other things. So to be able to have that is divine grace. Swami clearly said that Lord Krishna says that without His grace, you cannot take part in the satsang and think about Him. So there is first, you should constantly pray, Swami, please always bless me with the opportunity to be part of the satsang, always to be able to, in the company of the holy people, that they, one of the greatest sadhana by itself, in addition to japa, meditation, being in the company of the holy people, because those vibrations will take us more and more towards God. So, is another thing is this, then when he is talking about this, then he talked about Om. So in the end, anybody who chants Om, why Om is so powerful? Om is the representation of Nirguna Nirakara aspect of God. God who is beyond name, attributes, and form, and space, and time, and causation. Because ultimately, Brahman, as first we talked Brahman, Brahman is eternal and it is beyond time, space, causation, no name and form. That is real Brahman, supreme. Then from that comes all the avatars, Saguna Brahman. So this Om represents Nirguna Nirakara Brahman. So whether you believe in Lord Krishna or Shiva or Rama, Jesus, Mama, anybody, you can chant Om because it includes all names and forms. That is what, not specifically. Otherwise, they have fight between Vaishnava, Shaiva, Shakti people, and Jesus is the only son of God. Muhammad is the only prophet. No, it includes everybody. Om. That is why Om Ityekaksharam Brahma. Lord Krishna says that it should like a mantra. Om Ityekaksharam Brahma. Om by itself, that letter, is equal to Brahman. And also Patanjali in his Yoga Sutra says, Sathya Vachakaha Pranavaha. That Pranava is Om. He is the one indicates the Brahman. So different things people come, so don't get to Om is one thing we say. The same Om people call Pranava. Another is Ekaksharam. Another is Taraka Mantra. Last time we talked about two Taraka Mantras, which we all chant every day. What are the two Taraka Mantras? Huh? Om Namah Shivaya is Panchakshari Mantra. So Ashtachari Om Namo Narayana. Every day we say Om Sri Sai Ram. Om is a Tarak mantra. Rama is a Tarak mantra. Only two Tarak mantras. Om, that is why Lord Shiva, when you leave the body in Benares, it happens, he chants in your ears Rama. That is why Sri Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, once he visited Kashi, he saw, because he is a great master, his incarnation, I could see Lord Shiva giving the mantra Rama in the ear. So when we chant Om Sri Sai Ram, it includes Om beginning, that is Tarak mantra, Rama at the end, Tarak mantra. Anyway, in between Sai we have, which is Shiva Shakti, and that is the power of the Om Sri Sai Ram. Once you chant, you combine both, two birds with a shot. So everything is included. So this is the power of Om. That is why in the important people who want to know more details, which Upanishad I told many times. Mandukya Upanishad, that's called, where it is the shortest Upanishad, most powerful. It talks about just about Om. Starts with Hari Om. That's why a lot of these great monks, everybody just say Hari Om, Hari Om. That means Brahman is the Om. Brahman itself is Om. So you don't need, and I told you already, Patanjali saying, Tasya Vachaka Pranava. So this Mandukya Upanishad deals with how important this Om is. And it's only 12 things. There is a great master, this Gaudapada. He wrote a commentary on that called Mandukya Karika, just about the importance of Om. You should read it, people who are interested. So how the Om, because Om, when we chant A, U, Ma. So all of you do the homework and read and come. So what it is our wakeful stage and our dreaming stage and deep sleep stage. A is waking stage, U is the dreaming, Ma is the deep sleep. And then after that we have silence. We should Om, we should Om, and that is the Turiya state. Silence should be there after that Ma. The Turiya stage is the called fourth stage, which is the indicates Brahman, which goes through all the three stages of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep stage. That is what the power of Om is. And also it represents the three A for Brahma. That is Brahma. Then U for Vishnu, U. Maheshwara, Ma. So all the Trinity is represented Avuma, Brahma, Vishnu, Maheshwara. And that silence represents Nirguna Nirakara Brahman, goes beyond these three because everything has the end. Even Brahma has only so many years. He lives so many years. Does anybody know? So each Brahma, it appears to live about 400 million years. I don't know. We can't even think about it. 100 years itself is hard. So, but they have an end. There's a beginning and only Brahman is ultimately has no beginning, no end. So, this is the power of Om. Actually, all of you, I want you to do this. It's very important study and practice. So, anyway, in the introduction itself we got, now you continue on about page 139 at the end. And there he emphasizes importance of sadhana.
Your Sadgati progress is in accordance with your sadhana, spiritual practice. Progress is in accordance with practice. Be always aware of the need to fix the mind on holy thoughts when the body is got rid of. That is to say, immerse yourself in holy thoughts every moment of your life. Then Arjuna inquired, O Lord, has one to strive for it from now on if one wishes to get holy thoughts at the last moment of life? Can we not get them at that time itself? The Lord realized his doubt and replied, Your intelligence seems to have been blunted a great deal, for you are hesitating to accept the need to develop holy thoughts from now on. Arjuna, the mind has to be educated into the habit through what is called Abhyasa Yoga, the discipline of constant practice. It has to be trained to avoid other thoughts and concentrate on the Lord only. Then only can you reach the Parama Purusha, the Oversoul, the Supreme Spirit. Unless you systematically teach it and train it, it will not remember the Parama Purusha at the moment of death. You might ask me the reason. Well, think of your own case. You are able to use these weapons of offense and defense in the battle that is imminent because you taught yourself the art of handling them over many years, is it not? Could you have used them with confidence without preparation on the spur of the moment? Is it ever possible? The Kshatriya warrior will be called upon to wield weapons someday. So he is taught the art from childhood so that he may be ready for the emergency. Similarly, what else a man may not meet with during life, he is certain to meet with death. So each one must be trained to have at that time the attitude and thought that are most beneficial to him. Otherwise, life is a failure, a waste. A person unready for this consummation has to suffer the fate that will befall him. No one enters the battlefield in order to suffer defeat. So too, no one voluntarily accepts of all. He seeks only progress. Will it not be wise, therefore, to strive for the end that is in your own best interest? Hence, every man must take earnest steps to secure the thought of the seventh item, pranava, at the last moment of life. Whoever dies in that thought attains me, said Krishna. Again, I think Narendra uncle already went over the entire, even before we start. Again, more emphasis on the constant practice.
Next paragraph also read that, and then that continuation of that. Just finish small paragraph.
Yeah. This is the entire essence of the Gita. For the goal for all man's actions is to attain the acme of progress. Is it not? That is the urge which makes him engage himself in prayers, in japam, recitation of name of God, and dhyanam, meditation, in archana and tapas, austerity. All those who have placed faith in these have to remember the goal throughout. The most important thing, that's a good thing, is this is the entire essence of the Gita.
Yeah, that's what each time we have a session, this like spiritual formulas, like we have Newton's laws and laws of gravity and things. So these are spiritual laws. We need to remember what I said. Anta kale cha, the thinking, including the last moment. Mama iva, me, and abhyasa, constant practice. At least this should constantly sink in. And also, last time important. Here Swami is telling, ready for the war. Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara yudhyacha. Fight, always fight, fight the war, yuddha. That how? Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu ma manusmara. Always, in all times and all places, think of me and fight. So always remember, think of me. So whether we are at work, at home, in society, doing, always one back of our mind, we should have God in our mind. Think of me and fight. So there is what for that you need constant practice. Only concentrate. Swami, there is also, these are all underlined. Concentrate on the Lord only. So just, you can't have too many things on Him. We should, otherwise he says you cannot last moment think about God. So how much practice it needs. And he says you do the pranava, then you get that parandhama, you will merge. And that is the essence of the whole Gita. So if you go on remembering that pranava, or any other name is okay, but pranava includes all names and forms. That is the ultimate. And actually Swami says, in the old time, Swami says it's a direct line to God. Sometimes in the old days, now cell phone, we don't understand. You have to go through an operator. In India, for example, and became America, 72, now 50 years ago. So it says, somebody I want to call, so you have to put a call, PP call, the person to person, so operator you have to. Then sometimes it could be 3 days, sometimes 4 days, sometimes lucky, it could be 4 hours. So like that, but this is a direct call, one-to-one. This says, Pranava Om, directly goes to God. So that is the power of pranava. So just Swami says is a direct line. And everything, yeah, Swami says differently. Like we chant 3 times Om. Swami says first Om, you are calling him. Second Om, oh Lord, sit there, sit there. So there, and sometimes you are enjoying the presence of him. So like that, everything you can divinize everything in our spiritual practice.
This is one, always people ask these kind of questions that, we are preparing for exam, we are doing things, doing work. So we have to concentrate on that particular work or exam or whatever it is. So here Swami says, always think about me. Then if I'm always thinking about him, then I will not be able to do my exam well. I will not be able to do my work well. I think there is a little
Yeah, no,
confusion
but
about
Swami
that.
said the answer. The minute you say Sai Arpanam, Krishna Arpanam, once you dedicate your action, Mayarpita, Dusa is Mayarpita Mano Buddhir. So Mayarpita means once you say, Lord, I give it, so whatever you are doing, so you are just an instrument. He is working through you. That becomes his worship actually. That is why Swami says duty is God, work is worship. How it does it become? When you have that attitude that God is the one who is doing and He is doing through you, and that work is divine. With that attitude, but most of the thing, oh, I am doing this, I want to get a big promotion, big raise, a big bonus, big recognition. That is not for God. It is for your selfish agenda, for your own personal glory. But you do it for glorification of God as a service, as an offering to God. You are doing this person. That's why it says sarva karma pala tyagam. That karma, each action, it is like a karma pala. It has a result. That knowingly, Lord, this is you are the one who made me do this, and you offer to Him. That is the attitude. Then you are actually thinking about Him. But when the people say, I think I can't think about Him. So it is also work is worship, but they do it for different things. They want to just for their own accumulating bank balance or making name, fame. That is when it is your selfish. That is most of the people, 90% of the people, that is what they do. So they get so much engrossed in that they forget about God. That is there's one way of explaining why they can't think about God. But as much as possible, you think about God, and He will give you the chance to have it. Yeah.